All right, so Bill Maher released this video. Apparently, he was doing a stand-up set soon thereafter, the attempted assassination of former President Trump. So he had this recorded from the sidelines, apparently, and he put it out there. Let's listen. I actually don't even know if I heard this yet, but here we go. Let's dive in.
Unequivocally denounced. I don't care what you think about that. Fucking horrible. Not funny. I'm sure there will be jokes that people will make because they hate him so much about they wish to went the other way. Not for me. Not for me.
To be honest, I didn't see much of that. I mean, shit, maybe you can count on one hand the number of really like over the line things I saw. I really didn't see much of that. The hardcore blue MAGA types, they're leaning into it was staged. It was fake. It was fake. It was all like a Hollywood thing. It was put together. And so they're leaning into that. So they're not in a position where they feel like somebody actually tried to kill him and I am in favor of it. Like they're not doing that position. They're not taking that position. So I haven't seen much of it, but it's kind of interesting that this is Bill Maher's immediate reaction. Like he hasn't seen how people are reacting yet. And he goes out there and he's like, I denounce this. Oh, you're so brave, Bill. What a bold stand. He's against murder. Wow. What a bold stand, Bill Maher. Thank you very much.
Not funny in any dimension, and whoever did this, whoever was the shooter, has done so much damage to the left. Lost a lot of moral high ground, and you're the violent people.
This is why you should follow the facts before you open your mouth, right? This is why you should do it. Because, look, I followed it as it all came out. And one of the things I told you guys, this was pure speculation early on, but one of the rumors was it might be Antifa, right? There might be somebody who's an Antifa person. I purposely didn't give you the name of the person that was being floated because I said, this is totally unverified. This is not a legitimate source. So I came out here and I told you that, right? But what did we learn when the facts actually started to come out? Here's what we learned about him. In 2021, he donated $15 to a progressive PAC. Now, by the way, that PAC turns out is kind of like a big scam. And they do scammy tactics and they send you stuff that looks like a bill. So you feel, oh, I have to pay this. And maybe they got him like that, or maybe he knew what he was donating to. We don't know. But what we do know is soon thereafter, he registered as a Republican. He voted as a Republican, and he was a Republican up until the day he did this against Donald Trump. Now, by the way, we still don't know. Did he do it because he's like a Groyper or a Nazi type and he's far right and he views Trump as a moderate and a sellout? Or did he do it because he's a standard, school shooter type who had a horrible upbringing and was bullied and has all these psychological problems and no woman wants to touch him and 78,000 different problems that we see manifesting with the awkward white males who end up doing this, right? Young white men who end up doing this. We don't know which one of those things it is, but it's definitely one of those things, right? And maybe you could put in, a small percentage chance that it is some broader conspiracy and he's a patsy or whatever, right? You want to throw that in there? Fine, throw that in there, right? But what it's not is a committed leftist. That is 100% not true. But now, look, I understand his instinct of thinking, like the initial reaction, and I had this reaction too. I think any reasonable person would. Oh, this had to be like a violent far leftist, an Antifa type, right? Like that was the initial, who's the most likely culprit in the moment? That's where your mind goes first. But again, this is why you wait a little bit, because the facts debunk that. So now you're doing your smug rant about the left really needs to get their shit together and you lost a lot of moral high ground. Apparently the left lost none of the moral high ground. Because they didn't do it. They didn't do it, Bill Maher.
Liberals don't shoot people. Liberals don't solve it that way. Or even suggest. And when I say moral high ground, I just read this on my show last night, the 2025 project, that is the sort of the plank of the Republican.
He's such a boomer. I've heard people say, he says the 2025 project, and I've heard people say Project 25. It's really that hard to remember? Project 2025? We reported on this almost before anybody. But he's such a boomer. It's a 2025 project.
Which starts our convention tomorrow in Milwaukee. I will be there. The strip clubs. And see who's there.
God save the stripper who's got to work for Bill Maher. Jesus Christ, that poor woman.
The guy who wrote that, he said, this is our new plan. He said, this is new revolution for America, which I've heard 1,000 times from Newt Gingrich on Ford. Everybody has a new revolution for America. But they don't always say what this guy said, which he added, it'll be bloodless as long as the liberals let it happen. okay? That's not cool either. This shit has got to stop because none of this violence happens in a vacuum. It's never in a vacuum. But I'm glad he's okay. Trump, I gotta say this, the luckiest motherfucker that has ever walked the face of the earth.
I mean, look, on that point, me and Crystal called my mom just to like check in, and this was like the day after the shooting, and that was one of the first things she said. She was like, man, he is so lucky, right? I mean, I can see how you say, well, no, he was found liable in those civil cases and he's got to pay like $2 quadrillion. That's not so lucky, right? That he got caught with all of his tax fraud, insurance fraud, business fraud, defamation, et cetera. That's not lucky, right? But his criminal cases, the one he was found guilty of in New York, I don't know if he's going to get any fucking jail time for that. I don't know. And the other ones, which are more serious, they're gumming up the works and the Republicans are basically killing it. And he's also leading in the presidential polls. Looks like he's going to win, right? So he might escape any and all accountability for the actual felonies he committed. So he gets away with that. He survived every single attempt for the Democrats, you know, Russiagate, the impeachment over the Ukraine phone call, like all that stuff. Survived it. He was impeached through the House, but he didn't get through the Senate, so he remained president. January 6th, somehow skates on that. And then now survives an assassination attempt in a Hollywood-like style where the bullet grazes his ear. Literally. And Trump says this. Trump says, the fact that I turned my head to look at the immigration statistics I put up, he says that saved my life. It's a mix of that and like a 10-mile-an-hour wind that blew the bullet off course. It changed the trajectory slightly. That's what saved his life. We were 2 inches from him getting Gotskis. And it does feel, I said to Crystal, it's almost, you know how they say a cat has 9 lives? He has more than 9 lives. He does. It's that famous tweet of, I'd like to see old Donnie wriggle his way out of this mess. Donnie wriggles his way out easy. Ah, well, nevertheless. Like, that's really what it's like, man.
And again, I'm happy he's okay. But, I mean, 2016, that is kind of the luckiest. He lost the popular vote by a lot. He just pulled it inside straight. Everything happened
That's right.
his way.
That is true. People forget that yeah, Hillary won the popular vote by millions. Biden won the popular vote by millions more. So Biden ended up winning, as you all know. But it was only like 44,000 votes in the Electoral College in the Rust Belt that saved Biden. Hillary lost by, a couple 100,000 votes in the Rust Belt. But again, Trump lost the popular vote pretty significantly, and he ended up winning. He pulled the inside straight. That's actually a great way of putting it.
Democratic turmoil that's going on in the party right now, with Joe Biden being his opponent, always lucky.
Yeah, the fact that Biden won't step down, that's very lucky for Trump. Now, look, at this point, I don't know if it matters at this point. I do think any other Democrat would have a better chance at beating Trump, but it might be, America might just want that storybook ending where they're like, yeah, he survived an assassination attempt. We're going to give him another shot, right? He almost won in 2020. But now, with Biden's brain not working and Trump having some fairy tale ass thing happen to him, I mean, I think Maher's right about this.
When I saw that photo today of him with the blood streaming down his face, I don't want to say the election is over, but...
You know damn well you all had that reaction. I had that reaction. When I saw that picture, the blood coming down his face, the defiant fist in the air, the Secret Service people trying to get him off the stage. When I saw that picture, I was like, www.dunzo.com. Wrap it up, dog. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. And there, I see some liberals trying to make the counter argument like, well, everything will revert back to the fundamentals. And when Reagan survived an assassination attempt, his numbers went up, but then they went back down soon thereafter, and it was back to homeostasis. Okay, well, what is homeostasis right now? Trump +3. Trump easily winning the Electoral College. So, like, what are we doing here?
It can happen in an election, but Jesus Christ, I mean... Yes, Maga Nation finally has its full marker.
True.
They loved it when he went to jail. The mugshot,
they did.
He's insane and he's a criminal, but that mugshot fucking nailed him.
See, it's funny. That one I actually disagree. I think this fist up nailed it for sure. And like everybody's going to look at that and be like, damn, that's sort of badass. That is sort of an iconic picture, right? I think everybody can admit that. But the mugshot, I think liberals look at it like, look at this fucking criminal felon bitch, right? Look at him. And I love how he puts his mugshot and it says never surrender underneath. It's like, you were literally surrendering when you did that.
Perfect.
Don't give Blue Maga any thoughts here, Bill. It's like they rehearsed it. Don't give them any fuel, man. They'll run with it. They'll run with it. I'll say what I said the other day. There is a lane wide open for a dishonest actor on the left who goes full Blue Maga and just leans into, this was a Hollywood thing, it was a setup, it was a hoax, Trump didn't actually get shot, and take your little factoids and piece it together, make it creative, make it sound convincing. You can get a huge following if you're dishonest enough to do that. You can. I have no doubt about it.
Take one. And there will be idiot conspiracy theorists, idiots, who will say, oh yeah, they planned this. Like, right, he's going to put it all on the guy to be that. But he gets grazed and the other guy gets shot. It's so Trump.
True.
But, you know, it's going to work for him. I can see the memes now. The man the libtards couldn't kill. Biden can't go through a debate and a bullet can't stop Donald Trump, you know? I mean, it almost doesn't matter who the Democrats put up now.
The ones I saw were like Trump versus bullet and Biden versus stairs. It's Biden falling down the stairs on Air Force One and Trump with his fist up surviving the assassination attempt.
Today, it was dramatic. It should be. We should feel that. It's a horrible thing, but I'm not going to let it ruin the show. And you sound like
All right, there you go. It's Bill Maher's thoughts there. So, yeah, some of that stuff I definitely agreed with. But the thing I'm getting a particular kick out of is all these people who are coming out and they're like, I denounce murder is bad. It's like, yeah, like what percentage of the population out there? No, I am pro-murder. Murder is good, actually. It's very tiny. Even people who despise Trump. Nobody despises Trump more than Bill Maher, right? Nobody despises him more than Bill Maher. And of course, he's like, yeah, murder's not great. By the way, let's game this out for a second. Assume the assassination attempt worked. How do you think that's going to go from there on out, right? How do you think that's going to go? He is the martyr of martyrs. And the country absolutely explodes, right? Lord only knows what would unfold. Would there be riots? Would there be roving MAGA gangs with guns? Who would replace Trump? Absolute chaos, right? Also, if you have Biden versus some other Republican, why even have the election at that point? Again, that's over. The Republican is guaranteed to win, right? So, game it out. Even if you're somebody who hates Trump, like I hate Trump, this is not going to play out as you think. You see this in like House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. There's some people who are smart and they know how to play the game, and it's sort of like a chess game, and they can figure out moves down the road. And then there's other idiots who are just ironclad. I made my mind up. It's black and white. I'm doing this. And they never plan for the second order and third order consequences. And then when something bad happens after they do it, they're like, fuck, why am I so stupid? Why did I do that? Yeah, you got to consider these things, right? But obviously, look, it all comes to naught because the dude was a registered Republican. He was. He was either a total, typical school shooter psychopath, or he was some far-right Nazi type who thought Trump was a sellout and a moderate. That's what it is. So even having this conversation in the context of left versus right or Democrat versus Republican, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. That's how everybody's talking about it, and that is not at all how it works. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.